Hi everybody, Chris Stokes from Custom Fitness Personal Training Studio. Today's topic, what we don't want or enjoy, we pick last. Hear it all the time. So, kind of brings me back to my childhood. As I was growing up, I was the tallest child usually in the group, and people would pick me for things and then realize how bad I was at them. Sports, mainly, things like basketball, volleyball, just not my game. They learned to not pick me because they didn't want me on their team. They realized that I wasn't as athletically inclined as they were, so they decided to go with somebody else because they decided they didn't want me. So I ended up being picked last most of the time. Doesn't always feel that great. With fitness, any excuse is a good excuse, right? So before we opened the studio, I was working out of many different places, my home included, as well as my church that I was going to. They allowed me to train out of there. So the church kind of brought about a unique circumstance that there's so many buildings involved with this church and so many floors and so many rooms that really, if I didn't give just direct instructions on exactly how to reach me, and sometimes if I didn't go out of the room and outside into the parking lot to meet the person and walk them in, that would be their excuse for not coming. It also reminds me of a client that I used to have whenever I worked over at Amarillo College for a while, that she would drive around the school 3-4 times for 20 minutes. She would be late for a session. I'd be calling to check in on her and see what's going on. And she says, well, I just haven't found a parking space yet, so I'm going home. She had driven in like 20 minutes from Canyon to work out and drove around, couldn't find a parking spot, so she went home. After we got to know each other a little better, she found out that that was not acceptable, that, if you're going to come, you might as well park a little ways away and walk in and enjoy the workout. So we needed to make sure that those excuses were taken away. Fitness and nutrition are areas that really we find those excuses. And like I say, any excuse is a good excuse, right? Any one of them will keep you from doing what it is that you know you want to do. Nutrition kind of gets blown up in our mind. So it becomes we don't want to pick it because it's too hard, or it's too complicated, or it takes too much time, or my family doesn't like this, and it becomes this issue that you have to deal with. And again, we don't pick it. So we start to find these excuses as to why we don't want to do these things and why we don't need to do these things. But the problem is that not doing them really only delays the inevitable, right? So if we start to turn it around, there's this quote that's eat the ugly frog first, and Mark Twain said it. He once basically said that if the first thing that you do every morning is to eat a live frog, that you can pretty much go through the day with satisfaction of knowing that that's probably the worst thing that you're going to have to do all day long. So if you take the worst things that you feel like in your life that you need to do and you get them over with first, then you've got them done. You don't have to worry about it, right? And eventually, not eating a frog, but eventually maybe exercising, working on your nutrition becomes something that's not quite as detestable to you, something that maybe you're trying to find an excuse to get to do it. That happens to a lot of our clients as they come in, they start through the process. They may not really think that they enjoy exercise yet, or that they enjoy eating well. They really like their sugar, and they really like, having treats all the time and things like that. And then as they go through the first month or two, they start to realize that they start to crave healthier things, whether that's food or exercise, even just peace of mind. They crave those things and they start to want more of them. And they see that this is a huge transformation in their mindset. It's not necessarily that their body changed all that much in what it was asking for, but it's their mindset that's starting to appreciate what their body's asking for at that point. So as I said, making excuses delays the inevitable. It's going to come one time or another. And when it comes to your health, that delay really can be the biggest difference between, say, doing physical therapy or having a total knee replacement, or between, having controllable physiological issues or having to take medications to control those, having acute pain or having chronic pain. So as we start to work through this idea of, adding things into our life, especially right now in the fall, whenever everything's getting back started, kids are going back to school, activities are getting started, work's probably picking up for a lot of people, we want to make sure that we don't pick ourselves last, that we don't pick our health last, but rather that we start to focus forward, looking at our health first, and focus forward on what we need to do in order to improve that. So recently I had a woman who had been telling me for months that she just could not find time to exercise, just couldn't do it. And she wasn't even a client of ours, she was an acquaintance that I had, and she just couldn't figure out when she could fit it in. And then she came and experienced our small group training classes, our SGTs, and figured out that she could get a really awesome workout in 20 to 30 minutes. So she started doing that. And when she wasn't here, she was doing it at her office. She was doing it at home where she happened to be at. And she was like, you know what? I can get in 20 to 30 minutes. It may not be the workout that I thought that I needed before, but it's giving me better results and it's more compact and I can fit it in my day. So sometimes the challenge is not just, do I start something, do I not? Sometimes it's more, are you willing to take a risk, take a chance, and try to see if you can fit something in. Maybe it doesn't fit into your perfect idea of what something should be, but perhaps it forms a new idea of what could be, and it creates a new consistent pattern for you, because remember that all change comes with consistency over time. It takes a while to get there, but as long as you're focused on being consistent, you will win. So in the spirit of consistency, we have our Clean and Lean Challenge kicking off on September 10th, where we will be working on accountability and consistency through that. And if you are following the plan 80% or better, you're going to be put into our grand prize drawing for 2-night stay in Las Vegas. So that could be pretty awesome, right? And it's all about eating wholesome, real foods and exercising consistently. So we're going to be throwing a lot of perks with that. It's going to be a great program. If you want to get signed up for it, all you have to do is let us know that you're interested. We'll get you over all the information. And from there, you'll be able to work out for free from now until the start of the challenge, which is a good few weeks away. So we'd love to have you join us for that. We're really only opening that up to about 20 people because we do like to keep our groups smaller so that we can really give you the personal attention that you deserve. Make sure that you are seeing results throughout the program. So if that's something that you want to know more about, feel free to give us a call, 806-322-3188. We'd be happy to talk with you about that, or a Fit 3D scan, or our consults. We have lots of different options. Hope you have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.